Darling ones, how have you been? Rhetorical question. I already know, because if you are watching this channel, you're not well, okay? You're suffering with Demodex mites. I know, because I have the same problem many years ago. If you've watched my channel previously, you've seen my other videos, you would know. Struggled with the same thing as you guys, Demodex mites, and I lost about 2.5 years of my life. And the whole point of making this channel was to get you well again. So let's try and keep going with that. It has been 5 years since my last video, which is absolutely insane. The time has just gone so fast, and I have been dipping in and out of that in the last 5 years with your comments. I've been getting back to some of you, and some of you I have not. I do apologize. So life does get in the way. And look, there's a couple of videos I just wanted to make, because there's still a real need for this mite removal, guys. It's just, as I said, I'm still blown away with the, well, I'm say blown away, but you know, big pharma, they keep you sick. So you are a paying customer for life then, aren't you? But another topic, another day. I am still blown away though by the amount of people that are needing help with this stuff. It's obviously not going away. The medical community, as we've just said, labels you drug addict, psychotic, crazy, all those lovely words. And I'm here to say, you are not. We know. When you know, you know. We know we are not that. We are suffering with something that is very much real, and I believe you, because I went through it myself. So what I wanted to add to today's video will be a short, sharp and sweet video. First one back in 5 years on just some cleaning of personal items. So cleaning of clothing and your bedding, and washing your like your towels and stuff like that. Okay, so we will do another video of cleaning of your environment and your home, more broader ones in another video. So let's keep it on this one today. So first thing I wanted to say before we get into the cleaning is, now your fibers of clothing and bedding and towels and things like that, I can't explain the science behind this, all right? And if somebody can explain the actual science, please pop it down in the comments below. I would love to know this. The forums I used to read, obviously way back when, years and years ago, for the Demodex mites that we were all going through, and we didn't know exactly what it was and whatnot. And somebody mentioned this, and a lot of people then sort of cottoned onto it as well. And I just wanted to bring it up again because it's something I remember, is the clothing and bedding and towels and that you use, for some reason, the more natural, the natural fibers, so like your cottons and all that, are the absolute worst. I don't know why this happens. It seems to stir them up more so. But wearing synthetic fabrics and your bedding and your towels, all synthetic fibers, some reason just seems to sort of like calm them down a little bit, slow them down. Again, if you know, you know. If you've gone through this yourself, and you might have read these as well, if you know this, it's so true. I don't know why it works. It sounds really weird in your mind to think, what do you mean? Why would the different fabrics make a difference with this weird? I can't explain it, guys, but your bedding and washing your towel, like wiping your face and that with your towel and that, trust me, synthetics, it feels heaps nicer on the face. As I said, anyway, it seems to calm them down. So no natural fabrics, synthetic, polyester, your poly blends and all that, shitty, cheap ones, the better. I don't know why. Okay, that's just how it is. All right, so all synthetic fabrics will make things calm down a bit. Secondly, now cleaning your clothing and your bedding and towels. You would have seen me talk about this in all of my other videos. Dr. Bronner's, all right, the peppermint one and the lavender one were the two that worked really well for me. And I would use this as a substitute for my regular detergent / powder. All right, so I don't mix the two together. This is just this one on its own, all right, for washing your bedding and everything else, your clothes. Now, for some reason, I feel like this suffocates the mites. I think it's the viscosity of the product. I believe it seems to suffocate the mites, and as we know, they're resistant to everything else that you would have tried. So just this one on its own, you'll have to work out the exact measurements for your load, depending on your load and your you know, what your washing machine requirements are. But the first time I did it, I put in way too much, and there were suds everywhere, overflowing. But again, that's the least of your worries if that happens to you, right? So you'll work it out, okay? But replacing your detergents, everything, and this is while you're currently suffering, you know, as well as even afterwards, a while afterwards, just to make sure all the eggs and everything are all definitely dead, definitely not coming back to invade again, is Dr. Bronner's, and mixing it with your, again, you would have seen me talk about this many times, probably the best product out of everything that I have ever talked about. It's in all my videos, the borax. All right, now borax we use in your mud masks, all right, if you have also to ingest. All right, if you have watched my other videos, you'll know Ted from Bangkok, Earth Clinic. I'm going to say it again. If you know, you know. And also for cleaning as well. So this is the enemy for the mites, the kryptonite. All right, one of the best things. Probably this one and diatomaceous earth are two of the best. But borax, again, I'm going to say it again. If you know, you know. The borax is where you need to be at. All right, so you're going to mix your borax and your Dr. Bronner's together. Now, on your general you know, instructions on the back, it says half a cup per load, because we know this is a cleaning product anyway. But the amount I would use, because again, when you're sick, we know we need to up the ante a little bit. So I would do probably double, maybe at least 1 or 2 cups, even 2 cups if it's a really big load of borax. You could even let that sit as well with your, you know, as a soak, just as a little bit more of an up the ante type of thing. But, and mixing these with your wash, guys, hot wash, not warm, hot as you can get it. They actually like a warm wash. They still survive the warm wash. It has to be a hot wash. So look, if you can't do it in hot, if you only have cold water in your area or for whatever reason, you know, and obviously this economy at the moment, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, money's tight. Obviously washing in cooler things obviously saves the energy bill, definitely. But again, you can only do what you can do, okay? I'm just giving you the best options. If you can't do that, you make up for it in other ways, which I'll talk about in a second, all right? But at least these types of things will at least help, all right? So hot wash. Once you've washed, okay, then we're going to add your white vinegar to the rinse cycle, all right? Now, you would have seen all the stuff on vinegar online anyway. We already know it's got general cleaning properties in there, it deodorizes and all that jazz, but it has also got the scent and everything in there as well. Not only do the mites hate it, mites hate vinegar, and you would have seen me talk about apple cider vinegar again as a tonic for your face if you watch my other videos. But the white vinegar in your wash, okay, because that will get rid of the suds once you do, because this is quite a thick product because it's concentrated, obviously. And this is in your cycle at the rinse cycle instead of fabric softener, all right? And then you can mix in with that just obviously some essential oils, like I've got lavender here. I used to use lavender a lot in my rinse cycle. You could do tea tree. I've got another one here that I used to use too, speaking of tea tree, which is, now this is isopropyl, is that how you pronounce it? Rubbing alcohol. Isopropyl, whatever it's called, rubbing alcohol, 70% mixed with tea tree oil. And that's very, very good too, because that will disinfect as well, disinfect and clean everything. So you could mix these two together, okay? Again, a little bit in here in the rinse cycle, or you can do your lavender oil with your vinegar, all right, whatever it is. But pure essential oils, none of that fake crap, all right? And no fabric softener, all right? Absolutely, I would never again use fabric softener. I have talked about it before. It is all synthetic and fake. It's terrible for your clothing, but not even just that. It's very, you know, it's almost toxic as well to yourself. The fiber, not fibers, the thing it coats your fibers in, the synthetic coating that it is, it leaches in and just does not very nice things to you. Okay, so no fabric softener ever again. This is your fabric softener now going forward, all right? And you work that one out. And then lastly, after everything is washed, okay, popping it into a hot dryer. Hot dryer. Again, if you don't have a dryer, you can only do what you can do, obviously. If you don't have access to a dryer, popping the clothes out on the clothesline in the sun kills mites. Okay, that is a good thing as well. You would have read, I'm sure if you've read up on it, you would have seen the science in that one. Pure sunlight, and as long as you can outside, obviously nice sunny, you know, sunny day outside. If you've got access to a dryer, even better, okay? And I probably would run it through twice, all right? So even if it's already dry, doesn't hurt to whack it back in there on the highest heat you can for an extra 20 minutes or half an hour, whatever you can do, to really bung on the heat with them, because the heat is what kills the mites. Anything above 60 degrees centigrade, I'm in Australia, so my American friends, I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but above 60 degrees is scientifically proven to kill the mites. The hotter the better, and the longer the better, but again, you can only do what you can do, okay? So those are your best options there. Now, if you can't do any of those, okay, but at least doing these steps, all right, if you don't have access to the hot water, as I said, or the high heat of a dryer, at least this is helping as well to get more steps to killing them, all right? It might maybe not get rid of all of them, but it will definitely bring the numbers down at least. And look, washing your bedding and your clothing and your towels, when you don't feel well, when you're sick, and especially if you're by yourself, it's a big task, because I've been there myself, and it's not easy, all right, when you're that infested and you're like really sick, you're not well. But look, at least your bedding, and even if you can't do your whole bedding, even if you just do your pillowcase and your towel, at least I would try and do it. Look, if you can do it every day, even better. But obviously, if you're sick, and I know what it's like because you can't get out of bed, if you're that sick, I get it. Every second day is pretty good, okay? Again, if you can only do it once a week, it's better than nothing. Whatever you can manage, and it will slowly start to feel better. Ideally try and do it at least every second day. At least if you can do every second day, I promise you, even if it's just, as I said, just your bedding, just your pillowcase or something, or using a new one, or like whatever you can manage, you know, clean towel every day, obviously. And I know it sucks because you don't feel like getting dressed, but even if you chuck on just a clean top every day, with synthetic fibers, you'll feel better, all right? You'll definitely feel so much better, all right? So look, save all that up. If you can, do a big wash at the end of the week if that works for you. I don't know, you don't know what your cycle is there with everybody in the household, but hopefully this will help a couple of you out there. Look, and as I said, guys, I'm back, I'm here. I'm going to do a couple more videos for you, and keep trying to help the community out, because it's needed. It's definitely needed. It seems like it's only getting worse, this problem, and it's not getting better. And anyway, okay, love and light to everybody. I hope you feel well, hope you're getting better, and I will be back with a couple more videos soon. All right, see you then. Bye.